All right, what's up guys, David Sherback here. Today, I'm gonna be going through the Nako 2024 Pro Open tricks. I'm gonna be just kind of like live going through the trick list and giving my thoughts on each one. For the ones that are doable, I'll try to hit it 3 times in a row, but there's some tricks in the top 8 portion that are just, I'll be happy if I get them once. The first trick is switch 1.5 swap spike from airplane. Now this trick is tougher for me than I think it will be for other people. I did 50 attempts of this and my percentage was like 25% or something, because sometimes I even miss that airplane, you know. The hardest part is getting a nice clean half forward Tama throw. So I would have to work on that for sure. One thing I will say is I'm not going to Nako. I hate to break it to y'all, but sadly I'm not going, but I still want to practice these tricks anyways, because once I am able to go to an event, and I hope, I'm hoping I can make it to battle. I like to keep up with these trick lists, make sure that I'm staying honed, you know. One thing to note with this trick that I think will maybe help people is keeping your left foot in front, or whatever your switch foot is. So if I'm playing right-handed, I like having my right foot slightly in front. So you kind of want to mirror that with your left foot slightly in front. There we go. There's 3 times, not in a row, but that one is definitely one that I would have to work on quite a bit. The next trick is handle orbit. Now this one is so annoying with the string. I'll say that. Oh, okay, first try. Didn't expect to get it first tee. It's very annoying with the string. Gets wrapped up like most times. What I like to do is an inward orbit for this one. Obviously that's a little bit harder with the earth turn, as you can't see the bevel coming around, but it feels more natural to do it that way because it's all kind of in one motion. Like that, as opposed to like a regular orbit. It's, I don't know, I feel like you have to do the earth and then the orbit, and it feels a bit awkward. That was kind of not a full orbit, so there's another one. So there you go. That one's a tricky one, especially with the string, but I think inward I've found is probably the way to go. Inward juggle, this one's one of the easier ones in my opinion. I think my hit rate on this was like 60% out of 50 attempts. There's 3 in a row. For this one, obviously forward Tama throw is key. You want to have that same Tama spin every time so you get it to spike consistently. But yeah, that one's not too bad. I wouldn't be surprised if you see people 3 for 3 that. Let's move on to this next one. 2-turn J or airplane. 2-turn airplane, dub J stick, dub inward. Now this one is like deceptively tough. I think my hit rate out of 50 on this was like 25%, I think. The thing is, like, not one part of this trick is like super difficult, but you really have to focus on each part. Like I missed the 2-turn airplane a lot when I was doing 50 attempts. I missed the dub inward a lot. I'm actually hitting it pretty consistent now though. Lots of knees on this one, slow it down. I like to do pretty lofty J-sticks for this one. And yeah, it's all about focus with that one. Hippie flip, this is such a tough one. I would be very happy if I landed this on stage. It's hippie flip to lighthouse. I'll just try and get it once here. Now the people that have these down, this is like cake for them. This is easy, you know? This is easy for someone like Gino or Josh Grove, you know? So this is definitely one I would have to grind. There we go. Now don't wobble off this time, please. There we go, finally. Safe to say I probably would not be hitting that trick on stage unless I put a bunch of time in. Let's move on to this next one, dub gunslinger, dub whirl. One of the easier ones on this list. Sweaty fingers could definitely be a factor here. I know for me, gunslingers are a lot harder. There's 3 in a row. First tee, baby. They're a lot harder when your fingers are sweaty. Another thing here is like, don't underestimate a dub whirl. I feel like I do trip whirls so often that honestly trips might be easier than dubs. This is another pretty easy one for me. Inward stilt backflip. Of course, make sure you're licking that bev using lots of knees. I think my hit rate when I did 50 attempts was like 85% or something on this one. So yeah, not too bad. With how freaking huge bevels are now and how big cups are, like this trick is really not that bad at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see people 3 for 3 that one. This next one, bev flick stunt. So bevel flick stunt plane. You could also call it like an insta stunt plane flip. This one's a techie little trick that I'm not super consistent at. That was kind of it. I feel like the hardest part of this is honestly getting that first bevel flick, you know? You gotta be really precise and you kind of want to rush into it, but I think you gotta be, there we go, that felt good. You gotta be patient with this one. I think this one could get honed pretty easy. If you just put like an hour in on this one, you could get pretty honed at this. So I wouldn't be surprised if most people are practicing, you're gonna see that one be hit pretty consistently, but maybe with nerves, maybe a lot of people will miss that first part, the bevel flick. I didn't do 50 attempts on that one, so I'm not sure what my hit rate would be. By the way, when I say 50 attempts, that's inspired by Isaac from Lotus. He did a interview with Nick and Zach Gallagher talking about the Nako tricks. For his practice, he was doing like trying the trick 50 times and then seeing what his hit rate was. So shout out to Isaac, that's inspired by him. The next trick is around USA with double earth turns. This is such a cheesy little trick. I think this was Matt Sweets who was pulling for this trick to be in here. There we go. I like it though. I feel like you see around USA in a lot of like advanced trick lists. It's cool to see it, oh my gosh. It's cool to see it in an open list, just, you know, a little bit tougher. This one, I feel like I wouldn't even want to practice that much because it's similar to the 2-turn airplane and the dub J's, but it's like, I feel like if you just focus, you can kind of hit it, except maybe not, because I just missed the last dub earth again. For this one, little tip maybe, is I like to have my thumb in the big cup when I do the dub earths. Gives me a little bit more leverage and control. All right, 1-turn candle, trade in. This one's pretty easy in my opinion. Oh, as I say that, I missed the in, but like, I'm pretty consistent at that 1-turn candle. And apparently not at the end. But I feel like the in is more, that type of in is definitely a lot easier than like a trade spike, you know? So this one honestly isn't that tough. I would not be surprised if it gets 3 for 3'd pretty often. So yeah, let's move into the level 2 tricks. This is where things start getting fun. Inward lunar, inward stilt, stilt, lunar in. This is, I like this trick a lot. It's tough, but I feel like if you're honed, it's pretty easy to hit. Like it's basically just like around the Ken concepts, you know, just like reverse. Now the over the valley to this stilt is the hardest part in my opinion. So yeah, I like that one. That one's fun. I feel like that's one I wouldn't have to practice that much, but I probably would a little bit just to make sure that I'm like pretty honed on it. All right, we have the speed up tap. This is probably my favorite trick on the list. As I say that, I miss it. So it's inward lunar, speed up tap, and then cush tap back to inward lunar, and then backflip cush in. This one's just so fun. Oh, but as you see there, I feel like you're gonna see a lot of people miss that first tap. What I figured out is that you gotta like pretty much just ghost the Ken up, and then once it's straight up, I do that first tap. Oh my gosh. Now my hit rate was pretty high on this one. I like that ender too, nice little ender. I think my hit rate was like maybe 50%, which I guess isn't that high, but definitely higher than in some of these tricks. Bird jug over the valley. This is another one of my favorites. I think my hit rate on this was around 60%. I've been doing inward flip in, by the way. I've been doing juggles between stalls for a long time now, so this one's like pretty easy if I'm being honest. There's 3 in a row. Yeah, you just gotta have good Tama control with this one. It's the biggest thing, obviously. Use a lot of knees. And yeah, it's pretty fun. I like that one. This next one, 1.5 swap jug Ken. So it's basically the last part of a fish special. Oh my gosh, that was kind of sketch. The string tangled. Okay, wind. Let's see if I can get it 3 in a row. No, string. Now for me, because my juggling form kind of sucks, I do get string tangles more than I would like with this one, definitely. I think people with the best form are gonna be hitting this pretty much every try. Or just people with correct form even. But yeah, I think I'm still pretty consistent at this one. There's 3 in a row. Obviously you gotta spin, Tama, spin out, and then forward Tama throw. And just for me, kind of hope and pray that the string doesn't get tangled. So next trick is one of the hardest. I've hit this maybe 5 times. This is 1.5 turntable, 1.5 turntable, pause. Now, I think you're allowed to put 2 fingers on it. That's what I do for the pause. Now, this is the hardest part, man. Oh, the trade down is so insanely hard. The string just gets freaking messed up so easily on this one. Again, honestly, that first part is not that hard, but then this, oh, it's so tough. It's so tough. Now, I think I definitely go a little bit more than 1.5. I go like 1.7 maybe. I would think that's allowed because it's slightly harder. But yeah, 2 fingers on it, and then I just try to, oh, there we go. That was sketch. I'll take 1. I'm not gonna, let's try. Let's see if we can get 2 in a row. You can see I'm pretty consistent with that part. This part is so hard though. See the string? This is another one that is not consistent for me at all. This is sweet special down fast. Now I think you could get this consistent, but this is just a trick that I have not tried enough at all. Dude, it's so tough. And I feel like I don't get enough height on the Tama either. So it's kind of like far down and it's like, there we go. That was a perfect one. Okay. All right, sling, late sling. This is a huge weakness for me. But honestly, I think I found the best way for me to do this. Now the string gets tangled more than most people. That's for sure. I was trying to do it with the Ken to the right, juggling with the Ken to the right. I was just not consistent enough at all with the late sling. For me, swinging into this is the way to go. I think if I had to guess out of 50, I'd probably be like maybe a 10% hit rate, 5 out of 50. I think I could get that. And I think people would definitely have this way more consistent than me. The Tama isn't the problem. It's just the string on this one. Like I'm pretty consistent in having a perfect Tama rotation, but around stall, Sarah grip. This one is kind of awkward, especially on the Nightingale. So you go big cup, bird. Sarah, this is the tough part. Little bird, base cup, handle, Sarah, spike. So for this, I kind of do like a weird, shout out to Isaac again, I'm using his method. I do like this kind of thing for the small cup. And then honestly, the base cup to Sarah handle is like pretty easy. Goon pinch, fun one. Now, Matt Sweets said on a live stream when he was going through the tricks that I think a 1.5 pinch is gonna be allowed. So if I was competing, I would be doing 1.5 pinches. I'm a lot more consistent at these. There's 3 in a row. Matt Sweet said that technically you're making the trick harder, so it's allowed. But honestly for me, 0.5 is a lot harder. That's what I first learned was 0.5. But now I'm so used to 1.5 that like that's the way to go for me, for sure. Scooping trade down, I'm not gonna talk about this one too much because I'm not even like on a good surface or anything. But scooping goldfish, for those of you that don't know, for maybe some newer players, this is kind of more of an OG trick. You know, put the tom on the ground, scoop with the big cup. But with this one, you're going all in one motion, trading, and then down spike. This one's honestly not that tough, I feel like. Like the bevel's there. If you put the Tama with the bevel facing down, it's gonna be there. And then from there, it's just like a scoop, switch grip, just a down spike. So not too tough. This one is called Mateo's Chance, I think, or something. Shout out Dave Mateo. So it's Ken, jug, stunt fast. This one would kill me on stage, dude. Oh, second try, okay. This next trick is probably the hardest trick, maybe on the entire list. This is Lunar 1.5, oh, slipped off. Lunar 1.5, and then you swap. See, I can't even like partly do it. Swap and then 1.5 flip, so a back flip, back to Lunar, and then a inward flip in. I haven't hit this yet. I've tried it a little bit. See if I can hit it here. I'll be pretty happy if I do. Oh, that was close. Right, I'm just gonna move on because that trick is so insanely hard. I gotta hit it for Canonomics, but not right now. Penguin Nightingale trick. This one is another very, very tough one. I actually don't think I've hit this one either. So it's Penguin Nightingale. I think it's an inward, like you inward flip like this. Oh, yeah, like that. And then back to Penguin Spike. It's so hard to get that far with your wrist, you know? Because there needs to be a slight angle of the Ken towards yourself too. It can't be completely straight up, you know? Or else it's just gonna fall off. There we go. There we go. We'll take it. Oh, okay, this is another very tough one. Ken, inward Ken, and then Ken to spike. I think you're allowed to spin the Tama on this one. The key for me with this one would be to watch the Ken the entire time. Literally don't care about the Tama at all, because if it's spinning, you don't really need to worry about it. But going from that inward Ken, it's so tough for me to get a clean inward Ken on this one. Oh, that was almost it. Like sometimes, usually when I do the inward Ken, I catch the Ken like too high up here, you know? You need to catch it low. That's what I'm focusing on. Okay, there we go. Is catching low the entire time, like just really spotting up the bottom of the sword as much as possible. Okay, that one actually might not be as hard as I think. This next one is 2-turn Kush. 2.5 swap out, toss, 2-turn cush in. This is a fun one. I like this one a lot. I think you'll see best players in the world hit this pretty consistent, especially end of the competition. You're kind of honed. This is one of those tricks that like you can hit pretty consistently when you're nearing the end of your sesh, you know? There we go. When you're pretty honed. So, all right, next one is Sarah. I think it's Sarah wing, underbird swivel, swivel to penguin wing, and then penguin spike fast hand. A lot of stalls on this list. I mean, I love stalls, but it's honestly more stalls than I think there needs to be. And again, that's coming from someone who, oh wait, did I do it wrong? Wait, yeah, you gotta start on, I'm doing around the clock by accident. You gotta start there, and then penguin wing, that touched. Man, this would be tough on stage with the shakes, you know, if you're nervous. But let's be honest, if you're in top 8, you're probably not shaking that much. There we go, we'll take it. All right, this next one gets away from the stalls. It's 3-2-1 tap. Now I feel like I'd be pretty consistent at this one. Oh, come on. But I can imagine with nerves and shakes, come on, dude, and string, if you're sweating, I think we'll see the top players hit that pretty easily. You'll see Nick and Zach. Actually, I don't think they're going. I was gonna say you'll see Nick and Zach hit this pretty effortlessly. Honestly, I like inward stilt trays more than stilt trays. For me, like, yeah, I'm pretty good at stilts, but I'm honestly not as consistent at stilt trays as I would like to be. So I think there we go. And then it's swap spike. I think my hit rate for that, if I did 50 attempts, would maybe 10% again, 5 out of 50, that might even be optimistic. Airplane 5 tap. Now keep in mind, it's a full rotation, it's not a cush. Oh, come on. So there we go, full rotation. That feels so good to hit, and if somebody's gonna hit this on stage, oh, okay, 2 in a row, maybe 3, let's see. Oh, okay, close. Yeah, this one's gonna be hype. Imagine hitting this to win the game. Honestly, kind of one of the easier ones for me on this list in terms of the top 8. There we go again. Lady, cloud bounce lady. Trick I never do. And it says you can do any amount of flips. Let's see if I can get one for the vid. This is one of those tricks where you kind of have to have a clean cloud bounce for it to go back to lighthouse, you know? I feel like this trick is one of those tricks where I'm like so far behind where I should be with it that if I was going to the comp, I don't even think I would practice this one that much, you know? All right, I'm not gonna sit here and grind that because it's about to rain. So yeah, overall, the top 8 tricks are like, I mean, kind of actually crazy tough, which makes sense, they should be. But overall, this list, I feel like there's stuff on here that I'm pretty consistent at. I might do a full video where I do like the 50 attempts and you guys can see exactly how consistent I am at each trick. But yeah, there's some just kind of general thoughts on these tricks, maybe a couple tips in here that you can take away. Sadly, I'm not going to NAKO, but I do like to keep up to date on these trick lists and practice them so that I'm kind of ready for the next event, which will hopefully be, again, Battle at the Border. That is what I'm putting my sights on right now, and hopefully I can, really hoping I can make it out to that one, so. Okay, a little lace break. Okay, yeah, it's gonna do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.